Alright, so this is my e-portfolio that I will be using to study for the MBCOT in the future. Just to get started, I'll show you how I kind of have everything set up, and then we will go through each link that I chose from my classmates for each section. So this is the foundational review document that we were given at the beginning of this semester. So this just showed every section of the foundational review. So we had 7 and how they were broken down in the chapters in each. So coming off of that, I have each of the concept maps listed 1 through 7, and then they each have the chapters and then the links to the concept maps that I chose. And then just to make it easier on me while I'm studying to have it all grouped, I put the chapter names for each section at the very bottom. So just to kind of go over it, the first one was the foundational review. So it just had like OTKEs, OT knowledge exam, information, OTPF, frames of references, and clinical reasoning. And then concept number 2 had learning and teaching activities. Number 3 was cognition. 4 was vision and visual processing. 5 was motor planning and performance. 6 was sensation. And then 7th was range of motion, strength, and endurance. And so down here, again, I have it listed by section and then each different chapter in that section from Radomski or Pedretti. So as you can see, just as an example for section 2, I have Radomski chapter 12 and the name of it, Radomski chapter 13, and Pedretti chapter 7 with those 2 names as well. And then as you can see, they were each pretty much set up in the same way. Sections 3 through 7 all had the assessing abilities and capacities with the specific area or domain it was focusing on, and then the optimizing that specific area, and then like the evaluation and treatment of it. And those are all very, very important things that we will need to know and to be able to look back into to study for a boards exam. So it's set up really, really well in this way to kind of direct your mind in the right way. So just to start, I chose the concept maps I chose kind of based on appeal, like how they looked, how my mind kind of read them when I first looked at them, because I need things that are organized and that aren't super, super dull. I need things to draw attention to my brain and everything like that. Just set up in a way that's organized and that I can understand and not get overwhelmed with the amount of information. So the ones I chose, I tried to look for the ones that were super concise and had everything I needed, but not very wordy and detailed. And if I needed to go back in the chapters because I needed to know something more, then I would go to this bottom section here and look for the chapter that I needed. So this is the first one. Here's the link. And I can either look at it this way. I can zoom out here and see the whole concept map, or I can, if they have the story, I can go to their story. This one doesn't have the story. But see, this one starts off here is the OTPF information. It's laid out very well, the sections of the domain and then the sections of the evaluation process. And this is all, exactly what we've learned, just very an easy way to guide your mind to what we're actually needing to know for boards exams. And then this section goes through the clinical reasoning, each one of those, and then the description of them. And then this side here goes through all the frames of references. And there are a lot of those, so this is a good way to have it all in one place and be able to look and see what each of them are, and then the description of each, and then if they have a picture or a diagram to go with them, that's also here. And then I'll go back. So for the concept map number 2, this is chapter 12. And this one, I think, is set up in this way, so I can zoom out again. I liked this one. It was short and sweet, had everything you needed, but wasn't like super detailed and wordy where I didn't want to look at it because I got overwhelmed right away. So I liked that about it. And then this is chapter 13, so the learning activities. This one just goes in a straight line, so it's easy to follow. Again, gives enough information, but not overwhelming. And then this is chapter 7. Teaching activities in OT. So if I can zoom all the way out. Not super large. It has good graphics and pictures, which I like. It's easy to learn that way and to let things sink in when you see not only the description but also a picture to go with it. Okay, and moving on to cognition, chapter 6 in Radomski is here. This one had some charts and things from the book, which is always good. So I would have to go back and look for that kind of information. Chapter 24. This one I have to zoom out kind of a lot. It's over here. This one I really liked that the headings were different colors and broken down. It was just really organized, and I really liked going through it for that reason. And then chapter 26. This one I also have to zoom out a lot. I chose this one because I really do love the little web things like this. It's easy to follow because you know in which way that they're coming off. So this one, and then this one, and then this one. Again, organized, succinct, concise. A few little charts and things from the book tables. So that helps having them there. And then moving on to number 4. This is chapter 5. Again, the nice little web. This one was really good with the headings being big and bold and you know where you're looking. I loved the different charts, especially this. We've learned about the hierarchy of visual perception a lot, so that's a good little triangle chart to have there. This is a good little graphic about the eyes. Just very organized. Where did my portfolio go? Chapter 23. Same with the headings. I liked that. I liked the little add-in of pictures. It helps, again, to really understand what's being described in words. Short, good review. Chapter 24. As you can see, I like this group's work. Their layout and the colors they used and just the bolding of the headings, like I said, was really good. And love the charts that are added and the tables from the book, so I don't have to go back to the book every time I want to see a chart or a table. Okay, moving on to chapter 5. This one was super long. This was my section. I ended up going with the other groups simply because mine was in a million different pieces, but I also have mine. So for this one, I'll be able to use theirs and mine just to like compare and see what they have that I didn't and what they thought was important. And then for chapter 21, this one was in 2 parts. So this is part 1. Based on, when I'm off of this, I can actually go through their slides and then I can see how they set up the slides. Back to main page, and then part 2. So this one's very well just in a straight line, so you know exactly where you're going. Everything had pictures and graphics. Good way to help you learn each thing that's being discussed. That one has a lot to look at. Visuals. Moving on to sensation, so chapter 9. Again, this one, I like the little boundaries. It keeps everything in its own little place. You know what you're looking at, you know what goes with what, so it's really nice. And I liked the added visuals on this one as well. For chapter 22, honestly, I chose this one because it was short and sweet, and I think that it covered the information well in a concise manner. For chapter 23, zoom out here so I can see it better. I liked this one because it was easy to follow this little straight line here and straight line here, and good graphics, good visuals from the tables and the charts. And then chapter 25. Zoom out a little more. This one was also set up well, very organized. Okay, and then the last concept map, 7. I loved this one. I thought it was really cute. And the different pictures describing or demonstrating the exercises were good. Those kind of sometimes trip me up still. It's just tables listed. Good, again, visuals. This is describing the different types of pinch, so that's a good one to have a visual of. And then chapter 20, again, set up really well, nice visuals, organized, not a whole lot of information, so it's not super overwhelming for you to process. And that was going through all of them, so again, I chose them just based on aesthetics. Were they pleasing to me? Did I follow them well? Did it not overwhelm my brain when I looked at them? And I think that they gave good information, and if I needed to go back and look through the book, if it wasn't enough or I needed something to be cleared up, I have each section listed here with each chapter name. And so it breaks it down really easily and gives me the exact chapter. I also like it broken down in this way because if I'm studying or I have a client in info work and they have something wrong with or they have sensation deficits, then I can come to this section here and I can look at the chapters that I need, or I can go straight to the 6 over here and go to the chapters I need the links. And so it's just a really nice way to keep it all organized and set up in a way that won't take me long to delve into the whole book if I need to answer like one simple question about a specific domain or disorder, cognition, sensation, range of motion, things like that. So that is my portfolio. If I can get it to log out.